Hey y'all, welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I am so ready to jump into Season 7, Episode 3 of Game of Thrones. Because if we were back in Season 1, you could have never convinced me that we would end up in a world where Cersei is on the throne, where Tyrion and Lord Varys are working with Daenerys, and Jon Snow is King of the North. I'm so ready to dive into this episode, but if you want to help me out before we get started, you could like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your post notification bell so you never miss out on watching some really good shows together. Also, if you want the full link to watch along, the link for Patreon is going to be down in the description. For now, let's go ahead and dive right into this episode.
Bastard of Winterfell, the dwarf of Casterly Rock.
Since you want to call people names.
Really, we lost each other at top of the wall. Pissing off the edge, if I remember right.
He was doing that.
Picked up some scars along the road. Been a long road, but we're both still here. I'm Tyrion Lannister. The Onion Knight.
That's awful coffee.
The Battle of Blackwater Bay.
Luckily for me.
Sandy is the Queen's most trusted advisor.
Welcome to Dragonstone. Appreciates the efforts you have made on her behalf. If you wouldn't mind handing over your weapon.
Now that we've got that out of the way, give me your swords.
Please, this way.
Where are you from? I can't place the accent.
I was born on the island of North.
I hear it's beautiful down there. The flies. Haven't been myself. This place has changed.
She did not want to have small talk.
And Sansa, I hear she's alive and well. Does she miss me terribly? A sham marriage. I didn't ask. Well, it was.
Just so you know.
She's much smarter than she lets on. She's starting to let on. To hear how a Night's Watch recruit became king in the north. Tell me how a Lannister became hand to Daenerys Targaryen.
That's right. Both
Long
of
and
y'all.
plaited hair. To be honest, I was drunk for most of it.
Telling the truth.
Bannerman would think I'm a fool for coming in. If I was your hand, I would have advised against it. Stark men don't fare well when they travel south. But I'm not a Stark.
Oh, we have free range dragons now, for sure. Or is that the one that's always been free range?
I'd say you get used to them, but you never really do.
Yeah, they're all
Come.
free range.
Their mother's waiting for you.
It's so intimidating.
I wondered why you weren't there to meet our guest. You begged us to summon the king in the north.
I've done my part. I've brought ice and fire together.
Brought ice and fire together.
He arrives, you hide on a cliff. Didn't take you for a bashful girl.
Spring in the ears of kings has come to an end.
Oh, I doubt that. Taste of power were like the lion who tasted man.
Neither of us is common folk anymore. I did not part on good terms with the king of the north, or his advisor,
Why?
because of mistakes I made. Terrible
Sacrifices.
mistakes. I would only be a distraction if I stayed.
I don't think you should return to Westeros.
I will return, dear Spider.
My lady.
I have to die in this strange country, just like you.
What? They both have to die here. You know what she sees in the flame, she says, comes to fruition. She's like, she will return because she has to die here. And he was trying to tell her, I know you're not done because we came from nothing, and once we get something, we don't stop. Also, that whole bit about I've brought together fire and ice.
You stand in the presence of Daenerys Stormborn of House Targaryen, protector of the Seven Kingdoms, the Khaleesi of the Great Grass Sea, the breaker of chains.
They love that intro.
This is Jon Snow.
He said, say something for me. He said, this is Jon Snow.
He's king in the north.
He's king of the Man. Give me an intro like Danny's.
These weren't too rough.
The winds were kind, Your Grace.
Apologies. In the north, your grace, he's not a lord.
I never did receive a formal education, but I could have sworn I read the last king in the north was Torrhen Stark, who bent the knee to my ancestor Aegon Targaryen in exchange for his life and the lives of the Northmen. House Targaryen in perpetuity.
I wasn't there, your grace.
No, but still, an oath is an oath. What does perpetuity mean, Lord Tyrion?
What does it mean?
Forever.
Forever. So I assume you're here to bend the knee.
I am not.
Well, that is unfortunate. Faith with House Targaryen?
Break faith. Your father burned my grandfather alive.
What faith do we have?
The Seven
My
Kingdoms.
father was an evil man. On behalf of House Targaryen, I ask your forgiveness to judge a daughter by the sins of her father. Our two houses were allies for centuries. Centuries of peace and prosperity. With a Targaryen sitting on the Iron Throne, and a Stark serving as Warden of the North. I am the last Targaryen, Jon Snow.
I don't know.
We will save this country from those who would destroy it.
You're not guilty of your father's crime. Beholden to my ancestors' vows.
Then why are you here?
Because I need your help, and you need mine.
Did you see 3 dragons?
I did?
And did you see the Dothraki? All of whom have sworn to kill for me.
They're hard to miss.
But still, I need your help.
You could storm King's Landing tomorrow and the city would fall. Hell, we almost took it and we didn't even have dragons.
Almost.
But you haven't stormed King's Landing.
I love Tyrion's the one that said almost.
See, as you don't want to kill thousands of innocent people. At the very least, you're better than Cersei.
At the very least.
That doesn't explain why I need your help.
Because right now, you and I and Cersei and everyone else, we're children playing at a game screaming that the rules aren't fair.
You told me you liked this man.
I do.
He's refused to call me queen. He's refused to bow, and now he's calling me a child.
I believe he's calling all of us children.
Your Grace, everyone you know will die.
I can see you are the enemy to the north.
I'm not your enemy.
Danny, listen.
The dead are the enemy.
Is that another figure of speech?
The army of the dead is on the march.
She said, Tyrion, you vouch for this man.
The army of the dead is real. Night King is real. I've seen them. If they get past the wall and we're squabbling amongst ourselves, we're finished.
I was born at Dragonstone. We fled before Robert's assassins could find us. Was your father's best friend, no? Assassins to murder a baby girl in her crib. Not that it matters now, of course. I spent my life in foreign lands. So many men have tried to kill me. I have been sold. I've been shamed and betrayed and defiled through all those years in exile. Faith, not in any gods, in myths and legends.
You're not gonna listen.
In Daenerys Targaryen. The world hadn't seen a dragon in centuries until my children were born. The Dothraki hadn't crossed the sea. They did for me. I was born to rule the Seven Kingdoms, and I will.
She's not listening.
Over a graveyard if we don't defeat the Night King.
Us to halt hostilities and join you in fighting whatever you saw beyond the wall.
You don't believe him. But if destiny has brought Daenerys Targaryen back to our shores, you were the first to bring Dothraki to Westeros. He is the first to make allies of wildling.
He's done the same thing. Kind of. As far as rallying people.
Because they believe in him. All those things you don't believe in. He fought those things for the good of his people. He risked his life for his people. He took a knife in the heart for his people. He gave his own...
Stop there. Stop there.
If we don't put aside our enmities and band together, we will die. And then it doesn't matter whose skeleton sits on the Iron Throne.
Whose skeleton sits on the Iron Throne.
Help her to defeat my sister and to...
Can y'all just listen? Why does he have to kneel for this?
There's no time for any of this while we stand here debating.
It takes no time to bend the knee.
I mean no offense, Your Grace. As far as I can tell, your claim to the throne rests entirely on your father's name, and my own father fought to overthrow the Mad King. The Lords of the North placed their trust in me to lead them, and I will continue to do so.
Thank you. I'm honestly glad he's taking this stance.
That's fair. It's also fair to point out that I'm the rightful queen of the Seven Kingdoms. You are an open rebellion.
Oh my gosh. What did he whisper in her ear?
You must forgive my manners. You'll both be tired after your long journey.
Can somebody explain to me?
Am I your prisoner?
Not yet.
I'm actually annoyed with her here. I haven't been annoyed with Dany really like this thoroughly, but the way she handled all this was a little bit... Was that pompous? I don't know how to describe it.
And?
2 or 3 ships escaped. The rest sunk or captured. Dead or captured. The Greyjoys dead or captured.
Not all of them.
Your sister's dead.
Euron has her.
You saw him take her, but you got away.
Yep.
I couldn't save her. I tried.
Wouldn't be here if you tried.
Yuck. Theon, your storyline is pure garbage. He's so full of himself.
Cheering for Greyjoy. I have to be honest.
See little Theon's face right before he jumped overboard.
It's horrible who they're being handed to. Especially for her. She looked and made direct eye contact with.
My queen!
I give you what no other man could give.
Oh, call Jamie out.
Justice! Justice for your murdered daughter.
You've proven yourself the greatest captain on the 14 seas. And a true friend to the crown.
You deserve more than a true friend.
Proper reward for your heroism. You shall have what your heart desires when the war is won.
When you win the war.
With Euron Greyjoy commanding our naval forces, and Jaime Lannister leading our armies,
Oh no.
the sons and daughters of Westeros shall defend our country.
There's nothing quite like it, is there?
Mob spat at my sister not long ago. I would cheer to see your head mounted.
They're just like severed heads, really.
They're just like severed heads.
I've any advice at all, I would love to hear it. Brothers. Advice? Or rough?
Oh.
A finger in the bum. Not now.
Oh, Jamie's ticked.
I want you to know I understand the fury that drives you.
She does.
I was there that day when Sir Gregor crushed your love. I close my eyes and hear the sound of Oberyn's skull break.
Oh, you.
Your skin. I'm like that. I thought that's true love. Oberyn looked beautiful that day. He really did. And had such skill with a spear. Even Sir Gregor couldn't stop him. If only he hadn't taunted him. For poor Sir Gregor to die.
Yeah.
And here's Sir Gregor stronger than ever. That must be difficult for you.
Show me in Cersei.
When my daughter was taken from... You can't imagine how that feels unless you've lost a child. I fed her at my own breast, even though they told me to give her to the wet nurse. I couldn't bear to see her in another woman's arms. And you took her from me. Why did you do that? Doesn't matter now. Your daughter's a beauty, too.
She's gonna make... Oh, no.
Perfect Dornish beauty. I know we're not supposed to have favorites. We love whom we love.
You know, she's gonna make her watch her do something horrible to her daughter.
The gag makes it impossible to understand what you're saying. It must be frustrating. We all make our choices.
I don't know if I can watch this.
You must have felt powerful after you made that choice. Do you feel powerful now?
Oh my gosh. It wasn't
Didn't
worth
sleep
it,
very
was
well.
it? Taking Marcella is not gonna be worth whatever Cersei's gonna make her watch her do.
Gloria Sand, the woman who murdered my only daughter. I thought about having Sir Gregor crush your skull. That would be poetic, I suppose, but fast. I thought about having him crush your daughter's skull. She's so beautiful. Face cracking open like a duck egg. Qyburn, he's the cleverest man I know. Clever enough to learn what poison you used to murder me.
Oh no, she gave her the same kiss of death. Oh, she did the same thing.
Take.
Difficult to say, hours.
But death is certain.
Oh, yes, Your Grace.
I just don't know how long it's gonna take. Oh. Wicked.
Your daughter will die here in this cell. And you will be here watching when she does. You'll be here the rest of your days. If you refuse to eat, we'll force food down your throat.
You're gonna live with it.
You will live to watch your daughter rot.
Oh my gosh.
To bone and dust.
That's evil.
All the while contemplating the choices you've made. I'm sure the guards change the torches every few hours. I don't...
Twisted. Wow. You don't mess with Cersei. Like, that's just one person's list that you don't want to end up on. And then the mother-daughter pulling towards each other for the last final moments of her daughter's life are going to be... Oh.
No.
You're going to tell her no. These two are toxic. They're so bad. Like, and it's not just the fact that they're siblings. They're just bad.
How well do wooden ships fare against fire-breathing dragons?
Sins might not be as invulnerable as some. But let's talk about the Targaryen girl. Considerable gold in the slave trade. How are your profits?
The slave trade has entered a downturn, it's true.
How do bankers usually fare with revolutionaries? Lot of money, but Lannisters always pay their debt. Or Dothraki, or dragons.
Your father's daughter, indeed.
In King's Landing as my honoured guest. And when you return to Bravos, I swear to you, my debt will be paid in full.
Wow. Now, how does she plan to do that? She's always got a wicked little plan.
Over my failure to predict the Greyjoy attack. You're making it difficult. Look a lot better brooding than I do. You make me feel like I'm failing at brooding over failing. Say you're a prisoner on this island.
He's kind of a prisoner.
To go wherever you want.
Except to my ship. He took my ship. I'm not playing word games with you.
Yeah.
The dead are coming for us all.
Why don't you figure out what to do about my missing fleet and murdered allies? Walking dead men.
It's hard for me to fathom, it really is. If someone told me about the White Walkers and the Night King, you probably don't believe me.
I do, actually.
You didn't before. You said it was all nonsense.
Everybody knew it, but then Mormont saw them. And I trust the eyes of an honest man more than I trust what everybody knows.
How do I convince people who don't know me?
Good question.
I know it's a good question. I'm looking for an answer.
White Walkers, the Night King. It's almost a relief to confront a comfortable, familiar monster like my sister.
I need to help prepare my people for what's coming. I can't help them from here. I'd like to leave.
It seems unlikely that you became...
Let him go.
To learn from my father's mistakes. Don't go south. From the Mad King's daughter, a foreign invader. And here I am, a northern fool.
Children are not their fathers. Luckily for all of us. Invaders and northern fools than meets the eye. Could have sailed for Westeros long ago, but she didn't, and saved many people from horrible fate. We're on this island with us right now. Consider asking them what they think of the Mad King's daughter. Protects people from monsters.
Yeah.
That's why she came here.
But why can't they just work together?
Fight an enemy she's never seen on the word of a man. After a single meeting, it's not a reasonable thing to ask.
He's kind of right.
So do you have anything reasonable to ask?
What do you mean?
Maybe you are a northern fool. If there's something I can do to
Is
help
there
you.
any way we can help? Yeah, the Dragonstone.
Dragonglass.
Yeah, Dragonglass.
Volcanic glass. It says you have a tremendous amount of it here.
We just lost 2 of our allies.
To Jon Snow, a potential ally.
What does the King in the North want?
Apparently, it can be turned into weapons that kill White Walkers and their footsore. Destroy them. Unsure about the nomenclature.
And what do you think about this? And White Walkers?
Very much like to believe that Jon Snow is wrong. That you should never believe a thing simply because you want to believe.
Oh, I like that. Never believe it simply because you want to.
Are you trying to present your own statements as ancient wisdom?
Never do that.
If so, it worked on me. That was cute.
Told him not to come. I would have told him not to come. And he's here anyway. You don't have to believe him. Let him mind the dragon glass. If he's wrong, it's worthless. You didn't even know it was here.
Yeah, you weren't even using it.
Give him something. By giving him nothing, toward a more productive relationship with a
He's
possible ally.
the perfect in-between right here.
Keep him occupied while we focus on the task at hand.
What was that Sir Davos said? Taking a knife in the heart for his people. Did you notice that?
Mm-hmm.
You must allow them their flights of fancy. It's dreary in the north.
Yeah, what is it? He did say that, and then Jon looked at him and made him hold up.
Amazing thing to see.
I named them for my brothers, Viserys and Rhaegar. They're both gone now. You lost 2 brothers as well. People thought dragons were gone forever, but here they are. Perhaps we should all be examining what we think we know.
Just like you calling the White Walkers a myth.
You know I'm not going to let Cersei stay on the Iron Throne. Kingdoms belong to that throne.
I haven't either.
I will allow you to mine the dragon glass and forge weapons from it. Any resources or men you need, I will provide for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. So you believe me then about the Night King and the army of the dead?
You'd better get to work, Jon Snow.
She believes him. She won't say it, but she believes him.
How much do we have?
Enough food for a year, perhaps more.
This winter in the past 100 years.
Entirely certain. I'll check Mesa Lewin.
You're telling me we don't have enough food? Especially not if the armies of the north come back to defend Winterfell.
My lady, most likely not.
Whatever direction the threat comes from, this is the best. We need to start building up our grain stores with regular shipments from every keep in the north.
She's smart.
Are they covering those breastplates in leather? Shouldn't they be?
They should indeed. Pardon me, my lady.
She's noticing things.
No leather on these.
Command suits you.
Yeah, she's doing a good job. It's just like he does not need to be there. Little leech.
I know Cersei better than anyone here. If you turn your back on her...
You don't know Cersei better.
I only meant to say...
That the woman who murdered my mother, father, and brother is dangerous.
Thank you. Kind of gathered that.
One of 2 things will happen. We'll defeat the living, in which case all our troubles come to an end. Or life will win out. And what then? Don't fight in the north. Fight every battle, everywhere. Everyone is your enemy. every possible series of events. Live that way, and nothing will surprise you. That happens will be something that you've seen before.
I feel like I want to read into everything he just said. Especially because it's Game of Thrones. Things are said and then later on it's like, whoa, remember that? Remember when they told Robb that woman would be the end of the war and the end of him? And it was. Well, the end of their fight in the war.
I wish Jon were here.
I need to speak to him.
Father's last living, true-born son. You're Lord of Winterfell now.
I can never be Lord of Winterfell. I can never be Lord of anything. I'm the three-eyed raven.
I don't know what that means.
It's difficult to explain.
Try.
Bran is so different.
It means I can see everything. Everything that's ever happened. Everything that's happening right now. It's all pieces now. I need to learn to see better. When the long night comes again, I need to be ready.
Do you know all this?
The three-eyed raven taught me.
I thought you were the three-eyed raven.
I told you it's difficult to explain.
It's difficult to explain, honey. You had to be there. Canon event.
Sorry for all that's happened to you. I'm sorry it had to happen here, in our home.
He said he knows everything.
It was so beautiful that night. Snow falling, just like now. And you were so beautiful, in your white wedding dress.
She knows he can see her.
I'll stay a bit longer.
Right, Sam did this. He put himself at huge risk doing that. It did not look sanitary.
Does it hurt?
Less than before.
The infection no longer appears to be unusual.
Wow, Sam! That's insane.
You could almost have diseased skin was debrided. Region treated with some sort of unguent.
Don't know anything about that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I assumed it was the rest that did it.
This is how you two are going to explain it.
This chamber is needed for the infectious. Tarly, I'd like to speak with you in my study this evening.
Samuel Tully.
How bad is it?
I suppose I'll find out this evening. Where will you go?
I've surrendered to this sickness the moment I first saw it. I knew it would kill me. Daenerys Stormborn convinced me otherwise. The only place for me is back with her.
Oh my gosh, that's right.
You could have devastated the entire citadel, but you didn't. It's a meticulous, difficult procedure. You with healing links have attempted it and failed. But you succeeded.
I read the book and followed the instructions.
That's what he always does. He just reads the book. He's so brat.
Euron ships could be anywhere, or in more than one place, for who knows how long.
I wouldn't be alone. Viserion and Rhaegal. What can anyone do to them?
Said I have my
They can
dragon.
still do something to you. It only takes one arrow.
It's too great a risk. You're too important.
What about Casterly Rock? And what will they face?
A difficult situation.
Cersei believes my sole purpose in life is to destroy House Lannister. She will be ready.
I mean, she does believe that he wants to destroy the Lannister name. He hasn't done so well for himself to prove himself wrong. To prove her wrong.
The fight of the walls will be hard. We will be at a disadvantage. Many men will die.
Wow, you're gonna lose a lot.
He built our army. He built Casterly Rock as we know it. So he gave the job to the lowest person he could find. He was right. I was low.
It's just a slap in the face of Tyrion.
Father disapproved of that sort of behavior. So I couldn't have them in my chambers. Building the sewers, I threw in something for myself.
Oh.
It was a passage that began in an out-of-the-way cove by the sea and ended beneath one of the main guard towers.
Sweet.
No better place for low pursuits than beneath the ground. Casterly Rock is an impregnable fortress. But as a good friend of mine once said, give me 10 good men and I'll impregnate.
They snuck in and let them in through the gate because of Tyrion knowing the ins and outs of Casterly Rock. And the reason he knows that is his father trying to give him a dig and make him build the sewers, and look what he did. That's poetry.
But my sister's armies fight for her. They will be fighting for freedom.
Oh my gosh, he can narrate
That is why
anything.
they will triumph.
This doesn't happen without Tyrion. Oh no. So while they were doing this, that's what was happening. No!
Where are they? Where are the rest of the Lannisters?
So the Lannisters were moving while they were attacking Casterly Rock. Where were they moving to? Oh my gosh. Oh no, Lady Olenna. She told her to think. She told that conversation she had with Dany. Leave her alone. Jaime, come on, leave this woman alone. First I thought they were gonna go attack where Dany was, at Dragonstone.
And now the rains weep o'er our hall. Did we fight well?
As well as could be expected.
Only she would
It was
handle
never
it
our
this way.
forte. Golden roses, indeed. Your brother and his new queen thought you would be defending Casterly Rock.
What it is to me, but my...
So you just let them take it.
Your and Greyjaw's navy burned their ships. Eventually, they'll be forced to abandon their position and...
They were one step ahead. Can't believe he's pouring her a drink.
And went where they weren't.
There are always lessons in failures.
Yeah, you must be very wise by now.
My father always said I was a slow learner.
Why didn't he take High Garden the moment your gold mines ran dry? I suppose I'll be able to ask him myself soon enough.
Yeah, because y'all are gonna kill her.
My mistakes, eh? How will you do it? With that sword? That was Joffrey's sword, wasn't it? Not that he ever used it.
Widow's wail.
He really was a cunt, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I did unspeakable things to protect or watch them being done. I never lost a night's sleep over them. And whatever I imagined necessary for the safety of House Tyrell. But your sister has done things I was incapable of imagining.
Your sister's horrid and you're in love with her.
A failure of imagination. She's a monster, you do know that.
To you, I'm sure.
She's a monster to everyone.
But after we've won, and there's no one left to oppose us, do you really think they'll wring their hands over the way she built it?
You love her. You really do love her.
That's a horrible excuse for a horrible woman.
She'll be the end of you.
Possibly. Not much to be gained from discussing it with you, though, is there?
What better person to discuss it with? The things you say will never leave this room.
Mm-hmm.
But perhaps you're right. If she's driven you this far, it's gone beyond your control.
It has.
I can't even control it
She's
anymore.
a disease. I regret my role in spreading it. You will too.
I think we're done here.
She's a horrible human, Jaime. Come on. There's nothing good about her.
Cersei had several ideas. Whipping you through the streets and beheading you in front of the Red Keep, and hanging you from the walls of King's Landing. I talked her out of those.
That was a poison that she was going to give Tommen, wasn't it? That's why he was pouring her a drink.
Will there be pain?
No.
That's good.
She just instantly drank it. Oh, I cannot believe we're losing her. This
I
is a
hate to
tough
die
bride.
like your son. Foam and bile spilling from my mouth. Must have been horrible for you. It was horrible enough for me. Not at all what I intended.
Oh, she's gonna tell him.
I'd never seen the poison work. Tell Cersei.
Tell her.
Oh. No, it was me.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Tell her though. Oh my gosh. The way she just told him. She waited till her very last moment to tell him. And she said, tell Cersei I wanted to know it was me. Oh, what a way to go out. Like, but down to the very last end, like, that, like, she was who she was. Like, that was just a tough old broad. Like, I think we could all aspire to be like her. Like, no, I mean, not what she did to Joffrey. I mean, even though he deserved it, but I loved the energy of that character so much. I'm so sad that we are losing her. But it's like Cersei's just getting her revenge. She's getting, and that's what's so annoying, is that this evil, horrid character is getting what she wants. She's currently one step ahead of everybody else, and she always is. But, like, it makes you feel bad for even, it makes you feel stupid for even feeling bad for her. What was it, last season? Did we feel bad for her a little bit? If I could go back. That woman is so horribly bad. And she was correct about listening to Tyrion on the plans, because Tyrion's plan was to go and take Casterly Rock, but they kind of knew that. They were ahead of the game on it. I'm just sitting here and I'm like, what's the checkmate that we can deliver Cersei to make her go away, and I don't know what anybody can do. She was only like on the underdog for a little bit too, not long enough to make anything satisfactory. I'll be excited to get into the next episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on your post notification bell for now. If you want the full length watch along, the link for Patreon is down in the description. Let's go out in this big, beautiful world. Let's spread some light. Let's spread some love. And if we can, let's make somebody smile. Bye, y'all.